Ritesh Dile and welcome to Tibet This Week, a weekly feature in English about this week's news on Tibet, His Holiness the Dalai Lama and Central Tibetan Administration. Let's look at the headlines first. His Holiness the Dalai Lama gives teachings in Nubra, Ladakh. His Holiness the Dalai Lama's birthday celebrated on the Capitol Hill in US. Young Tibetan monks forced to leave monastery to join Chinese schools. I live Tibet, I eat Tibet, and Tibet is my life, says Ugas Paikan on raising the Tibetan national flag at the World Cup Stadium. His Holiness the Dalai Lama gave a series of discourse on Buddhist texts including In Praise of Dependent Arising, the 8 verses of mind training and all-encompassing yoga to a crowd of over 5,600 devotees at the Diskit Monastery in Nubra on Friday last week. His Holiness told the devotees whether one is religious or not, Buddhist or not, it's worth determining to be a good person with a good heart. His Holiness observed that, in relation to achieving happiness, material development alone is not enough. Inner values like love and compassion are crucial too. These are related to methods for transforming the mind that has grown from the common Indian practices of shamatha, cultivating a calmly abiding mind, and vipassana, which involves developing wisdom and insight. The Tibetan spiritual leader also met with Muslim communities at the Diskit Jama Masjid in Nubra. His Holiness recalled the excellent relations that had existed between Tibetans and the Muslims who had settled in Lhasa since the time of the 5th Dalai Lama.
Now time comes. There's such wonderful religious harmony which exists in this country over 1,000 years. Now this must show outside of India. Religious harmony is possible.
His Holiness also visited the newly established Diskit Jama Masjid, where he joined in prayers with his Muslim friends. The Tibetan spiritual leader addressed the crowd of over 8,000 during the inauguration of the Great Summer Debate at Samdeling Monastery in Ladakh on Sunday this week. His Holiness gave a White Tara long life initiation and Bodhisattva vow at Samdeling Monastery, Nubra in Ladakh on Tuesday this week. At the onset of the long life prayer, His Holiness said that the main factor for the long life is mental peace. If you have the peace at your heart and mind, and if you are mentally calm and relaxed, you will be able to live long. Developing compassionate heart for the people facing misfortunes and thinking about impermanence and emptiness will facilitate you in turning the misfortune into luck and meaningful circumstance. This is what is called the positive and meaningful side of misfortune. When the misfortune is coupled with a compassionate heart, it really helps to prolong your life. Furthermore, if the long life rituals were performed by the deities, it will be even more helpful in lengthening the life, said His Holiness the Dalai Lama. His Holiness the Dalai Lama's 83rd birthday was celebrated at the United States Capitol Hill on Wednesday last week. Over 150 friends and supporters of His Holiness the Dalai Lama, including congressional members and staffers, State Department officials, Chinese Friends of Tibet, civil society organizations, and Tibetans were gathered at the occasion. His Eminence the Karmapa Rinpoche graced the event and reminded everyone to recommit ourselves to support His Holiness's endeavors to promote peace around the world. House Leader Nancy Pelosi and Congressman Jim McGovern also joined the celebration and co-authored an opinion piece on the occasion of His Holiness's 83rd birthday, in which they wrote, "What a wonderful birthday present it would be if China would treat the Tibetan people with the dignity and respect that they deserve, and let His Holiness go home to Tibet whether to visit or to stay." According to news reports, Chinese authorities in Kamshichul are forcing Tibetan monks who are below the age of 16 out of the monastery and instead compelling them to join government-run secular schools. The Chinese government ordered Zachuka monasteries in Shirchul County, Karzai, to remove young monks to enroll in Chinese-run government schools. If the monks refuse to abide, the monasteries will face closure while their administrators, The monks' religious teachers as well as their parents will be punished, warned the authorities. In recent years, Karzai was subjected to mass demolitions of world-famous Tibetan Buddhist institutions such as Larungkhar and Yachenkhar. Thousands of monks and nuns were evicted from the two Buddhist centers. Such developments attest to the Chinese government's increased repression on religious institutions. Uga Spaikan, a French national bearing a Buddhist name Yeshi Dorji, was detained at the final World Cup match for carrying the Tibetan national flag and wearing the Tibetan team jersey on Sunday last week. Speaking exclusively to Tibettv, Uga said that he became a Tibet lover after he, along with 5 other people from France, lived in Tibet in 1990s and were among the very few foreigners living in Tibet.
I live in Tibet in the 90s, and I met His Holiness 14th of July 1996 privately, in private.
Okay.
The same day of the National Day of France. Everywhere I go, I take the flag. I live Tibet, I eat Tibet. My son has a Tibetan name. It's my life. Tibet is my life.
So much for this week. See you next time and have a great weekend.